Hi, ever wonder what it's like to work another profession or live in the underworld? Listen to unsuspecting riders give a 10 to 15 minute personal masterclass as I spontaneously interview them as they enter my taxi. I'm your host, Simon Rushton, and this is Taxi Chronicles. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we have the lovely Jennifer in the house. She looks much younger than she is. And she's going to tell us about her arthritis and how she got over it and just give us a little background on herself. So here you are, Jennifer.
Hi, people.
So tell us, how did you find... Do you know how the arthritis caused and how long you've had it for?
Right, well, basically, I couldn't get up in the morning with my knee. It used to kill me. So painful. So basically, I was taking, medication for it, but none of it was working. And it was wear and tear. I had an x-ray. They just said, you've got arthritis in your knee. It's wear and tear. Basically, you've got to live with it. That was it. So I thought, right, well, I can't live with it because it's too painful. So just out the blue, I was watching the TV and there was an advertisement about Revive It, which is basically a machine that you put your feet on, and it's frequencies that go through your feet, through to your legs, and gets the circulation going, and it's amazing for arthritis. So I thought I'll give it a go. I've tried it for a whole month. I have no pain in my knee whatsoever. The pain's completely gone. I get up in the morning, I don't ache. I get up, if I sit for a long time and I get up, I don't ache. It's just amazing. And it's not a cheap machine, it's quite expensive. It's £169, but it's a great investment because I can't tell you how much I must have spent on all those heat pads on my knees every day, and they're really expensive. So I've saved myself money with this machine, and I just think if you are suffering with arthritis and you need help, this machine works. You can get it on Amazon. And I don't have shares in it, by the way. Just getting it out there. So it's so good, really good.
You spoke about that you go for walks, long walks.
Yes, and that did help also as well. I mean, I've been walking every weekend. I try and do a really long walk. I do like 8.5 mile, which we did this Saturday just gone. We walked from North London to South London and back again, and that was brilliant. And I've been doing that now for the last couple of weeks, which helps. It really does help exercise. I can't say how good walking is for you. It's just the best exercise. And if you can get out and do it, especially now we're in lockdown, people need to get out and have fresh air. And if you can walk with a friend, social distance, of course, it's the best thing for you, and it's really good for your mental health. And it's done me a big favour.
So is it fair to say that, along with the machine, you've implemented your own measures as well?
Yes, and I think because of the machine, I can walk further. And it does say actually in the advertisements that you can walk further with this machine, and it does work. And I walk 8.5 miles every weekend now, which I never dreamed I'd be able to do.
Do you find that when you're walking to the tail end, does pain occur? Or?
No, not in my knee, funny enough. It was just general ache in your glutes. Is it your glutes? Your glutes? Is it your glutes? And just your top of your thighs, but not my knee. The actual arthritis in my knee does not give me a problem anymore. I can walk for miles.
Just a tip, the way to conquer that is every so often you stop and you just stretch.
Yes, that is one thing I need to remember.
Or you walk on undulated ground, so your walk ideally is going, let's say it's off through a forest, which is great because it's unlevel. So when it's unlevel, your muscles aren't doing repetitive movement, right. They're doing different movement.
Yep.
So that's why when I jog, I like to jog through a forest,
yes,
in a park that's going up and down, or left to right. You've got to watch your footing, obviously.
Yeah, of course. We've tripped over a couple of times in the woods, but yeah.
And things like that. So tell us a bit about yourself. What do you do?
So I'm on my way to work at the moment. I work in a communications company called Civica, and they are based in South Bank. And I literally run the office. Although there's nobody in there today, I'm running it on my own, by myself. It's just I have to be there for, we've got a couple of new starters that need to come in and pick up their laptops and stuff like that. And I need to be there for an engineer that needs to come in. So it does me a favour because it gets me out of the house. Normally I'm working from home. So once a week I come into the office and it's quite nice being there on my own. I get a lot more done in my office than I do sitting at home, that's for sure.
Okay. How have you managed during this lockdown?
Well, this is going to sound really selfish, but the first lockdown that started, I was quite happy because I got furloughed for 5.5 months. So I got paid for doing nothing and sitting at home. So for me, it wasn't such a chore. It was just boring because I didn't have anything to do, didn't have anywhere to go. But the actual lockdown itself wasn't a big thing for me. If anything, it was like a nice rest. But there is one thing that I miss desperately, and this is quite an interesting story. My son lives in Colombia. Okay. He plays Premier football out there. Right. And he's been out there for 7.5 years. And I go out once a year to visit him because I've got a grandson as well. He's got a son who's 3. And that the only thing about the lockdown that was really bad for me was the fact that I couldn't get out to see him. Mm-hmm. So I haven't seen him for over a year now because I didn't go last year. I normally go around October time. So this year, come rain or shine, I am going out there to see him. And if I get stuck out in Colombia, so be it, because it is an amazing place and I absolutely love it.
Oh, so you've been there before?
Yeah, this will be my 5th time if I go this year.
Colombia?
So he's in Medellin.
Oh!
Yeah, he's in cartel land.
Pablo Escobar.
Oh yeah, and we went to the Pablo Escobar Museum. Yeah. This is a true story. So we've gone up to the mountains into this museum, and my partner Mark was saying to me, I don't know if I fancy this. This is a bit dodgy. We're getting driven out of our comfort zone. Yeah. So I said, okay, fair enough. Well, look, we're here now. There's nothing we can do about it. So we get up to the top of the mountain and we go into this big gated house, and it was 25 quid each, which in Colombia is a hell of a lot of money to go into a museum. So he said, I'm not paying 25 quid to go and look around a bloody load of old rubbish. So
yeah, you gonna tell the Colombians that?
No, sorry. Any Colombians that are listening?
No, not even that. I mean, when he was there, just play the game.
No, but this is
25 quid.
Let me finish this. Wait till you hear this. So he said, that's a lot of money, 25 quid. Then the guide said, yeah, but it's £25, but you're going to sit and have a coffee with Roberto Escobar, which is Pablo Escobar's brother. Okay. So then he changed his tune and said, do you know what, that's a bargain. That's a bargain. I will pay 25 quid and have a coffee with Roberto Escobar. So we did. It was actually Roberto Escobar's house. Okay. That had all of the paraphernalia of Pablo, like his jet ski. Don't know if anyone watched Narcos.
Yeah.
And you see him at the beginning, in the clip at the beginning, jet skiing around.
With his mate.
Yeah, that jet ski is in that museum. It's just absolutely mind-boggling what goes on in there, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I must say he was a nice bloke.
What was it like, the whole environment?
It was really strange because there was an American guy there as well. He was on holiday, and Pablo Escobar has still got some of his henchmen are still alive, and one of them was at the museum, and he said, "Oh, I'll drive you back to because we was in a taxi. We got a taxi there, and we couldn't get a taxi back because the rain was torrential and no taxi would come up the hill." He said, "Let me drive you back." So he drove us back in one of Pablo Escobar's old cars. Yeah. And as we're sitting in the car driving back, the American tourist was sitting in the front, and he looked at me and he went, "Do you not think this seems surreal? We're driving in Pablo Escobar's old car with one of his old henchmen that would kill just as soon as they would look at you." Yeah. It was really surreal.
How old was the guy? Around
60, 65, 67 maybe.
Okay.
Because Pablo Escobar was killed, back in 1990, was it?
Is it 90s?
Yeah, I think it was the 90s. Okay. Don't think it was people. Yeah, I think it was the 90s.
I'd have to Google it, but go on.
But I have to say, Medellin is the most gorgeous place on earth. I absolutely love it there. Colombian people are amazing. And he has put so much money into the city that it's very westernised now. It's just like I've never been to LA. I've never been to Florida. I've only been to Florida. And my partner said that it's very like LA because it's a tropical place. It's a city built in a tropical area.
So mountains?
It's very mountainy and very hilly, which is why they have out in Colombia. You've got lots of shopping centres because people can't really walk up and down the hills. So they have all the shops in one place.
Alright.
And they are the cleanest, most beautiful smelling shopping centres you've ever been in all your life.
Okay.
And they've got everything there, everything. Absolutely everything. They've got Hollywoods, Planet Hollywoods, everything.
So wait a minute, does your son play for the same team that Maradona was managing?
Oh, no, he plays for Envigado, which is actually where Pablo Escobar was born.
Okay, because Maradona was he was managing a team, wasn't he, in Colombia, and he brought them up.
I think it was National. Was it Nacional?
I can't remember.
I think it might have been Nacional, because George played for a little while, for 6 months at América del Cali, which is a massive team in Colombia. You've got two huge teams in Colombia, which is Nacional and América del Cali.
Mm-hmm.
And George was at América del Cali for 6 months. He went to a couple of other teams, and now he's in Envigado.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the only English footballer out there in 50 years.
How's he found it?
He adapts to it really well. He loves his life out there now. He's got his wife, he's got his child, he's got his daily routine there now. He absolutely loves it. So
he's never run into any cartel members or anything?
Yeah, they've had a couple of dicey moments where they've had to sort of be rushed out of a stadium because there was threats to one of the other football teams.
Because they were lost or something?
Yeah, but that actually wasn't the truth. Apparently the reason why, this is what I've heard, I don't know if it is true or not, but the reason why the guy got shot for putting in a home penalty.
Oh, that one.
Years ago, do you remember that one?
Yeah.
I don't think that was to do with that. I think that was to do with the drugs. I think he got shot because he owed money. But they just made it out to be he got shot because he put in a home penalty.
Okay.
That's what the rumour is.
Okay.
But we shall see. But put it this way, touch wood, no one else has been shot since playing football.
Well, that's a great interview. my last question is, and I ask all the guests this, what's the impact you want to have on the world?
Impact is so that I can spread love and positivity. That's what I want with every single person that I meet.
Okay. Well, thanks for... Just remind us, what's the name of the machine for the ankle?
Oh, yes. So it's called Revive It. And it's on Amazon. And it's get the $169.99 one, because there can be some that are really expensive, up to £300. You don't need that. Just get the cheapest one and it will work, I promise.
Okay.
Take care, people.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We hope you liked that interview. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to get the latest daily episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economy and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources? Then listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you will hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m.